Developing tonight in the Jussie Smollett case, almost 1 year after charges were dropped against the actor, he is again facing an indictment. Tia Ewing live with the latest developments. Tia.
Well, Corey and Dawn, I am in Streeterville. This is the same area where Jussie Smollett claims he was attacked a little more than a year ago. But for the second time around he's charged, he still maintains that he's innocent, even though he's been hit with 6 felony counts tonight.
I've been truthful and consistent on every single level since day one.
A special Cook County grand jury doesn't see it that way. They say it's possible Jussie Smollett made 4 separate false reports to Chicago police back on January 29th of 2019.
Do you want to take it off or anything?
Yeah, I do. I just wanted y'all to see.
For the second time around, Jussie Smollett finds himself in trouble, indicted on 6 charges of disorderly conduct, accused of lying about a racist and homophobic attack. Legal expert Larry Yellen says a jury has not convicted Jussie, and now his legal issues start all over again.
The disorderly conduct doesn't sound real serious on its face, but when the disorderly conduct is making a false statement to a police officer, it's a class 4 felony which carries 1 to 3 years, and there are 6 of these counts. They would probably run together, so it would be 1 to 3 years as a possible sentence.
It was almost 1 year ago when Jussie Smollett walked into Layton Criminal Courthouse with his legal team and then walked out. That was the day when all 16 of his charges were dropped. Since then, a huge political sore spot for the Cook County State's Attorney, Kim Foxx, who let the case go, a move many thought would end her political career. But now she's seeking re-election.
I thank you for your prayers because I have needed your prayers.
Amen. Yes. Amen. Amen.
The Cook County State's Attorney released this statement in response to the charges. As the Cook County State's Attorney's Office does in all cases, the special prosecutor reviewed the facts, evidence, and the law and determined charges were appropriate in this matter. We are unable to comment further as the matter is pending. Well, Smollett's legal team, they are responding to the charges tonight. This is what the legal team for Jussie Smollett had to say. One of the 2 witnesses who testified before the grand jury is the very same detective Mr. Smollett is currently suing for his role in the initial prosecution of him. After more than 5 months of investigation, the Office of the Special Prosecutor has not found any evidence of wrongdoing whatsoever related to the dismissal of the charges against Mr. Smollett. The attempt to re-prosecute Mr. Smollett 1 year later on the eve of the Cook County State's Attorney election is clearly all about politics, not justice. Now, as for Jussie Smollett, he will be back here in Chicago, back in a Cook County courtroom come February 24th. Live from Streeterville, Tia Ewing, Fox 32 News.
Tia, thank you. Now, the Smollett case has taken plenty of twists and turns over the past year. It was January 29th of 2019 when the actor claimed he was assaulted in Streeterville. 3 weeks later, the Osendero brothers were arrested. And then just 2 days after their arrest in February, the brothers were released without charges, and police accused Smollett of staging the attack himself. He was then charged with felony disorderly conduct. Another month goes by, and on March 26th, the charges against him were dropped. And on August 23rd, a judge appointed a special prosecutor to review the case.
And that special prosecutor has a notable past. Natalie Bompey joins us with his experience.
Dawn, he played a role in the prosecution of the Iran-Contra affair back in the early 90s. But let's start with Smollett's case. This is the 5th time Webb has been appointed as a special prosecutor. Dan Webb, that is. He was appointed to determine whether Smollett should face further charges and if there was wrongdoing in State's Attorney Kim Foxx's office in connection with the dismissal of the charges. Today, local pastors in support of Foxx slammed Webb for the timing of the indictment.
It's very interesting that Dan Webb, at this moment, as we are about a month away from an election, is now offering charges. This seems very similar to when James Comey intervened in reference to the national election. And so we are seeing at this moment some politicization of this particular election.
Webb's firm justified the investigation into Fox's office in a statement today, and it explained Webb asked Fox's office for examples of similar cases where charges were dropped for a defendant after they filed an extensive false police report. The Cook County State's Attorney's Office was unable to provide this evidence. Wrongdoing in Fox's office has yet to be determined by Webb. Webb's experience spans decades. In one of his most notable cases, Webb questioned President Reagan. He was hired to determine if Reagan's national security advisor improperly sold weapons to Iran in 1990 in exchange for the release of American hostages, a scandal that became known as the Iran-Contra affair. He also investigated potential Cook County election fraud under former Cook County State's Attorney Richard M. Daley. And he was instrumental in the conviction of Daley's nephew, who pleaded guilty to involuntary manslaughter.